Alright, cool. Welcome to another video within this module. Now, this is a video full of some helpful tips for the COG test from your study, how you want to structure it a little bit, and then also what to do on the day and how to making sure you have a plan for the day as well. So to kick things off, some recommendations for the practice side of things and the study side of things. Now, for me, you want to be giving yourself at least 2 to 3 months worth of study time. Why? Because it's going to give you enough time to do maybe an hour or two a week and get through all the tests, get through all the different tests, but also all the tests given to you within this module, within this course. And as well as that, it's going to allow you to do it in somewhat of a stress-free environment. Now, there's nothing worse than cramming 2 months or so worth of study within 3 weeks, because most of it's going to go in one ear and out the other. So definitely giving yourself enough time is the first key. Now, what is also going to be beneficial to that is the fact that when you get to the end of doing all the tests, you can then go back and do them all again if you want to. Anything that you feel as though you struggled with or anything you want to recap, you have the time to go and do that. That's not going to happen if you cram. Now, you may be watching this video and you might be thinking, oh dear, I've only got 3 weeks. Now, it's not to say that it can't be done, and if you're in that situation, do what you can, when you can, and cram as much in as possible. In the ideal scenario, you would have about 2 to 3 months. Anyway, all right, so let's move on to what to do on the day. Now, when it comes to the tests, you want to make sure that you have a plan. You have a plan for each test. You want to make sure that each test is given amount of time you want to give to each question. So generally speaking, it's going to be between 40 seconds and a minute per question within a given test. For example, the general ability is 12 questions, 10 minutes. So you're looking at maybe 45, maybe 50 seconds per question. So making sure that you have a plan for each test is going to be crucial to you sticking to that plan and also not missing out on not answering any questions, which for the most part in the tests will be marked against you. So if, for example, you get to a question early on, okay, maybe you do one in 20 seconds, the next one is going to give you more time. Okay, so you're now going to have another 30 seconds to answer the next question. What it does though is if you do get to the end of a question and you think, holy shit, I don't know the answer to this, it's going to mean that you're just going to have to answer it rather than sitting on it. And that means you're going to continue to get through the test rather than be pressured at the end to answer 3 questions in 30 seconds and you get them all wrong. So that's the first tip on the day, is making sure you have a plan for each test. The other tip is to make sure that you set yourself up in a nice, quiet environment. No stress, no kids if you've got them, okay? The wife or the husband, the partner's taking care of the kids, gone out for that hour, okay, or gone to the outside for a bit, kids can't come inside, whatever. You've turned your phone off, okay? You've made sure that you've got nothing else open on your computer that's going to maybe slow down the internet or affect things in some way, okay? You've got a bottle of water there, you've gone to the toilet, all right? You've made sure that you've got nothing else on your mind, you've done all the shit you need to in the day so that you can sit down and be as focused as possible on this test. Now, why would you bother, doing all that sort of stuff? It's just a test, what are you talking about? It's because if something goes wrong, you will kick yourself. It is much better to be over-prepared, okay, do things that you might not necessarily think that you need to do, because if something goes wrong, you're going to say, why did I not just do that, or I should have done this, okay? At the end of the day, if you don't pass these tests, you don't go any further. So making sure that you have a nice environment, okay, you've got your plan, you've got everything set up, you've done all the things you need to do, the kids are away, etc. It's just going to give you peace of mind that all you have to focus on now is the test and nothing else, because you've covered all your bases, you've ticked all the boxes to make sure that nothing is going to interrupt you. That's pretty much it in terms of the tips, okay. It's pretty basic stuff. It's nothing complicated, but it's just using up here in order to make sure that you're doing what you need to, okay. You're giving yourself enough time to study, all right, you're giving yourself enough time to get through all the tests, you've got a plan for the day, you've set yourself up in a nice environment. For the most part, that is going to be the keys when it comes to this COG test study. Now, the other thing is I want to leave you with is treating this study time and these COG tests like you're training in the gym. You need to put in equal amounts of effort into both. If you don't, one of them is going to let you down. And for a lot of people, it's the COG, because the COG is not as fun as going to the gym for most people. Okay, the COG is seen as, I should be okay, whereas the fitness side of things is seen as a little bit harder and I need to put more effort into that. You need to put in equal amounts of effort into both. Otherwise, this COG stuff is going to let you down and you're going to be pissed at yourself for not putting in that extra hour a week, okay, or giving yourself that extra month to get ready. All right, there's little things that you want to make sure that you are taking control of in order to give yourself the best chance and the most positive outcome when it comes to these tests. So put as much time into your training as you do into your COG test and vice versa, all right, because both need as much attention as the other. Anyway, guys, that's enough in terms of tips. That's the core stuff, the key things that I believe are going to help you get through this. If you've got any more questions, reach out and ask.